G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. I am harbourside in Sydney, waiting in anticipation of the most beautiful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II to be projected there on the main sail of the Opera House in honour of her being the Queen that we've all grown up with, and to express our sympathies and condolences for her passing yesterday, and to remember her for all the great things that she has overseen and done throughout her reign as the Queen of England and the Queen of the Commonwealth. What I want to do in anticipation of that is go through and do a book summary. I've got to wait for another 20 minutes or so before the projection materializes. So I'm going to do a book summary today, and the book summary is entitled A World Without Email by an author known as Cal Newport. And Cal makes a number of powerful statements and shares a number of really interesting observations in this book summary, which I hope to share with you and see if we can glean some useful life hacks that we can incorporate into our daily life to help make our lives better, more productive, and more interesting. So Cal kicks off the book summary by suggesting that passion comes after you put in the hard work, because to become excellent at something, it needs to be valuable, and you need to put in the hard work before. And it's after you put in the hard work, and it's after you scratch the surface, that you become, more excited, and you discover more about that passion than if you didn't put in the hard work in the first place. So in summary, the author is saying that you need to do the hard work first, and then the passion will follow, and not the other way around. You don't become passionate about something before you actually commence it. And if you do, that passion will quickly dissipate. What the author is saying is that you do the hard work, and then the passion follows. And the same can be said about Queen Elizabeth. Her duty, her hard work, her entire life, her unwavering focus on her duties made her the great person that she actually was. So let's see what else we can learn from this book summary. So the author then goes on to say that what you do for a living is less important than how you do it. My mother always used to say that you need to do things with love, because by doing it with love, you'll actually become better at it and great at it, because you're expressing love as opposed to just doing a job. And the author then goes on to say that most of our lives, most of our modern lives, are characterized by the following. We get up in the morning, we head to work, and when we get to work, we check our emails, and then after we've checked our emails for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, then we go and have a break. And then after that break, we come back, check the emails again, and then decide to have another break for lunch. And the day just goes on within this cycle, and you don't really get all that much done, because instant messaging is one of the greatest distractions of our time, and it's a productivity killer. It causes inordinate stress to both our conscious and subconscious levels. And the call to action from this author is that we need to address social media, we need to address instant messaging, and we need to address our availability to all and sundry. Because if we don't take charge of all of these things, we'll end up becoming a slave to instant messaging, and whoever sends you the most recent message will be in control of both your conscious and subconscious minds. So the author asks us, pleads with us to turn off our notifications and basically get rid of your inbox if you want to increase productivity and improve communication amongst yourself and your peers, your family, and everybody else in your life. So instant messaging and email can decrease productivity drastically in the workplace. It's interesting to note that on average, a worker checks their email once every 6 minutes. I know that with Facebook and having an iPhone, I'm constantly fiddling, putting my hands into my pocket to see what is on my phone, and that in itself is a constant stress creator in my life, let alone the life of other people. And dare I say, my children, and more so my grandchildren, are growing up in a world that is completely dominated by electronics, and they will forever be dominated, if we're not careful, by those electrical devices. When it's said and done, a third of our day is spent navigating our inbox, and we only get to do 1.5 hours on average productive work a day, which is absolutely horrific. Throw in a couple of coffee breaks, throw in a couple of chats around the office, then we realise that we're not all that productive after all, not as productive as what we thought we were, and we need to do something about it. So what the author is saying here is that the email and the notifications have become an addiction, and the responsiveness kills productivity. We are wired to focus on one thing at a time, and our prefrontal cortex is overstimulated, distracted, and stressed, which means that it's going to have an impact on our productivity, it's going to have an impact on our stress levels, and an impact on our health, the health of our relationships, our personal health, our professional health, our spiritual health, and all the other things that flow from it. So the next thing that the author talks about is the importance of switching to project management apps rather than being enslaved to email, inboxes, and instant messaging. Email, according to this author, is completely outdated. It is messy, it is unstructured, and management gurus like Peter Drucker say that there are two types of workers: the knowledge workers and the factory workers. The knowledge workers are creative, and you can't really tell them how to do things and how to work, because each worker has their own style and their own ability to get things done. So what we're saying here is that you can't tell people how to do things, But what you can do is you can provide them with management tools to enable them to manage their tasks, to become more productive and more engaged with others in the office, to provide, to grease the tracks on workflow, to make them become more productive through providing tools to enable them to manage their tasks in a timely and effective and efficient manner. The last point to come from this book summary is that the author says that people work best, much better, when they receive straightforward, coordinated tasks. People feel productive when they write or read emails, but it's a fallacy, because all people are doing is reading and writing emails and passing the buck, not actually doing something to action and to sort out the problem. In organisations, responsibilities are often misaligned or ambiguous, and task movers spend more time just moving the task around than actually getting things done, is the bottom line here. So what the author is saying in summary is that we need to assign straightforward, structured and organised tasks to people in order to help them become better at doing their job and being productive. Anyway, thank you very much once again for taking some time to listen to this vlog today. As I say, it is a solemn moment, and a moment that I'm looking for in anticipation to see the sails over there of the Opera House lit up with the picture, the portrait of the Queen on that middle sail. We'll see how we go tonight. I'll take a few photos and I'll hopefully try and take some live video just to share it with my friends and family and capture this once in a lifetime moment, this historical moment for all of us. Because Queen Elizabeth, as we've said time and time again, is one of the longest serving monarchs in the world, and she was a constant in many people's lives, having transcended a number of generations and traversed many economic, social and environmental cycles, and she's been the magic glue, the person who's been there to help us through these tough times and through the good times, and somebody that will be sadly missed. I mentioned the other day that when I was growing up at school, we had flag monitors whose job every morning was to raise the flag and to take the flag down at the end of the school day. And at assembly, every single day, we would sing the national anthem, which then, back in the 60s, was God Save the Queen. When I learnt the flute, the first musical score that I learnt was the national anthem. And back then, when I was 10 years of age, the national anthem, of course, was God Save the Queen. So people of my generation have a great affinity with the Queen and with the national anthem of England, which was at one point the national anthem of Australia. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now. So may God bless the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, who travelled to Australia on a number of occasions, and I did make the effort on 2 occasions to see her from a distance. And I remember back then there was an absolute buzz when the Queen was coming into view. Just like tonight, the city is abuzz with people, young and old, who have come down to pay their respects and to witness, as I said before, this historical moment, this sad moment, but a moment that will offer closure to many of us. Anyway, take care. I wish everybody well, and we'll chat again. Take care and bye from Jim on Jim's 5am Club. Bye for now.